Demolish all violators. Yo, it's too many styles. Who's the best now? Before you bow me, son, you better get your weight down. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. Wow, it's like Ace of Spades versus Cisco. It's the boom, back, boom, back.
The Boom Bap Hour, and I'm your host, Miss Ruby V, and I'm here with Whichcraft. What's really good?
How you doing tonight? I'm doing good.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us here today. And just wanted to take a moment, you know what I'm saying, to just introduce you to our audience and just let everybody know like who you are and especially like where are you from?
Okay, I currently live in Charlotte. I go by the name of Whichcraft. I've been an MC for most of my life since I was a very young teen, and I represent creativity, love, peace, understanding, joy. You know what I'm saying? Anything that will raise vibrations for the people around me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a calling every day. You know what I'm saying? So that that's definitely what I want to rep. Feels good to do it too,
Okay, you said it's a calling. Okay, we're going to talk more about that later on. I got some more questions for you.
Okay. So,
yes. And so definitely checked out your newest release you have with Indigo Phoenyx, the Ever. That was fire.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So tell us more about that.
I have an album coming out over the summer in June, and I'm working with a producer, DJ Evidence from overseas, and it's from my Certain Ones crew. We're currently doing a lot of stuff in the underground scene, and it was my way. They welcomed me into the family, and it was my way of saying thank you for welcoming me in. And I did a complete album with the one producer, and Indigo Phoenyx was the first one to jump on that album with me, and I work a lot with with people that are in her cipher. She works a lot with the people that are in my cipher. It's weird how we're all connected one way or another. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, without even like making any of it up, we're all just like linked up somehow,
Like 6 degrees of separation, like Kevin Bacon. Wow, that's cool. That's what's up. Well, we could definitely tell, it's just a definite magic when y'all came together and did, that song. So, that's definitely awesome for sure. Yeah. And so what age did you like start doing this? Like, knowing that, this was for you?
Yeah. So like when I was 13, I did a lot of the little talent shows and stuff like that. And I just kept pushing the envelope with MCing because I grew up into music, singing and performing and everything like that. So I was on the stage one way or another, and hip hop became like because I come from a single mother. So hip hop became my father that wasn't there, So KRS-One, Chuck D, Rakim, they were all like my elders. And I felt like whatever they blessed me with, I wanted to exercise the gifts that I had already and use my voice how like they were using their voice, authoritative, but like in more of a positive way, like just something I felt like I was possessed, at that time, like really, really good to be born in that golden era and be able to represent in that golden era. New York was different back then too.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We talk about it on the show like all the time, because our co-host definitely from there as well. And I always talk about it was a little different back then.
Yeah, it was very different
now, right?
Yep, very different. I totally miss it. I wish I could still close my eyes and envision it. I was very grateful to be around at the time where it was so progressive, where hip hop was such a progressive culture, and everything around me, even if it wasn't hip hop, if it was house music, reggae, like it was so alive in New York City, and it was great to watch that evolution at the time period. And it felt like it was more personal, like it belonged to you know, more of a crowd that appreciated it more than it became so commercialized later on. But it's all perspective, you know,
Yeah, most definitely.
all perspective.
Well, I'm sure that, you know, all of that, you know, you like grew up around and just the atmosphere, you know, that it contributed to your creative influences, you know, as an artist. Do you feel like it did?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. And I feel like at the time I really, really needed that direction. And when hip hop kind of shifted from like Kool Moe D and the Treacherous Three and people like that to Houdini, and then it switched over to like Rakim and Tribe Called Quest, like I almost felt like it was like a need for just to push forward, you know, and to watch that happen at the time. It was like I need to jump on this, and you know, I knew and I felt like I could do it as well, you know. And then I just kept going with it, you know, and it never stopped, you know, since that time period.
Yes, most definitely. And, you know, I know you spoke earlier, you said that you kind of got exposed to a lot of different musical influences. So wait a minute, you were like lead singer of like a rock band too, right?
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, when I came to Charlotte, music, a lot of the boom bap and progressive hip hop wasn't down here at the time. It was a lot more spoken word or trap, and I wasn't really neither one. I did spoken word, but so I had to get in where I ever could use my talent. And you know, I had a guitar player that I worked with a lot, and we just kept writing songs until we developed a band, and you know, we performed and made, you know, demos, and you know, I even got some close looks from some major labels at the time period, and you know, and it was a really enjoyable experience because it was like it kind of pulled me out of the box that anybody could have put me in at the time. But if I didn't move to Charlotte, I probably would have never joined a band ever. Like it would have never happened, you know.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a dope influence. I mean, basically just the more that you can draw from creatively, just really like all those things just come together to make you a dope artist, you know? So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely cool.
Yeah.
Yes. And we also, we have a documentary that's coming up called A Love Letter to Hip Hop, The Culture I Chose, right?
Love
So why do you feel you chose hip hop?
Well, I feel like I chose hip hop for its courage at the time, you know, because it was an outlet that I could jump into to escape the craziness that was around me, whether it be family drug addiction or, you know, any of the elements that were around at the time period growing up. Like there was a place to escape and be myself and be creative and express myself and escape all the madness around me, or whatever was going on. It could have been any element, but you know, hip hop was almost like a welcoming place, you know, safe place, which was important at that time period, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, definitely.
Yep.
And isn't it amazing how hip hop can do that?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how it's literally save lives,
Yeah. Yep.
you know?
It's super important because to have that you know, that place to where you can give that back, and you know, the youth are going to intercept it first. So I always try to keep the youth in mind whenever the vocabulary comes out, but it's not even that. I don't like word fillers at all. I love to just say as many things that are creative as I possibly can in those 16 bars, and I don't like to fill it with a lot of the, you know, I've changed a lot through, but the journey has helped me change throughout it. But I enjoy wordplay the most, you know, instead of filling in the sentences with stuff that don't need to be there. I could just say as many words as possible that will maybe make somebody rewind it, you know?
Yes, and it definitely will make you do that, because
Yeah.
I tell you, it's like, well, you come like a barrage of bullets. You're like, it's like, watch out for
Yeah.
real. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
I love it though. I love it. And you know, we also have a concert series coming up called Bars for Your Mind.
Mhm.
And definitely, you know, we're gonna have, you know, you most definitely gonna be a part of that. So
Oh, I'd be honored.
love
Yeah,
to.
yeah, definitely would be honored.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
So yeah, before we wrap everything up, just definitely tell us how we can find you everywhere. I mean, social media, website, everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, so Instagram is probably my most frequent, and I'm under Whichcraft 7 on Instagram, and that's WHICH. It's not supernatural, anything like that. Um, and anywhere you look on Spotify or Apple Music, I'm under Whichcraft, and Twitter on Whichcraft 75, and got a lot of stuff going on. I put out a few albums in the last few months, and I'm just pushing. It doesn't leave me alone. I wake up, and if I'm off, I have to be in the studio. I have to be recording something, you know.
Yes, it's like therapy, right?
Yup. Yeah, it is like therapy. It totally is like therapy. Yup.
Yes, yes.
Yup.
And any shout outs you want to give or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. Certain ones, definitely. My team, my brothers, MHB, Nickel, Mike Nichols, Mr. Cord, Lifelong, Masai Bay, um, Bobby Crave, certain ones, Feral Surge, and definitely my brother, Randy Mason, K Mason, and my a safe space mentor. There's a lot. I could keep going, but yeah, definitely.
Yes, yes, dope, dope. Well, once again, Witchcraft, thank you so much for coming on with us today. And we definitely going to be playing, some dope music from Witchcraft. So definitely, y'all
Appreciate it.
gotta most definitely keep a lock. And yes, shout out to our sponsor, Bearsville
Yeah.
Park.
Oh yeah, Boom Bap Hour podcast. Boom Bap Hour podcast. Have me on, nothing but love for them, and they represent what I represent, which is the boom bap, what I'm saying, hip hop music.
Yes, absolutely. Nothing but the best, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Thank you for having me. I'm humbled.
Yes, absolutely. Boom bap at its finest. So it's the Boom Bap Hour, y'all. Keep a lock so y'all can hear some dope music from Witchcraft. Don't go anywhere.